also recently did a highly publicized merch drop with Friends. You think about going to the mall, for years there was every t-shirt company would have the fake unlicensed merch from Friends, and they're the ones actually getting the deals and actually working with the studios to provide live merch. So we think these are really complementary to what we're doing. On top of that, when you look at the roster of talent that they've worked with and the roster of talent we've worked with, there's a huge amount of opportunity for us to cross-sell and get some of the talent that maybe came in the door working with Represent to eventually bring them on Cameo or some of the new products that we've launched. In addition, we work with tens of thousands of talent that have never sold merch before, and we're going to be able to introduce bespoke merchandise opportunities for many of them for the first time.
That's what I'm so interested in, because not only does Cameo work with the big guys, but there's some people who are sort of second tier. Maybe someone is obsessed with them and really wants a birthday message from them, but they're not huge mega celebrities. What is the potential for those people to make money, and how possible or potentially profitable could it be to create merchandise when you're dealing with issues of scale? Maybe they're not going to be making, 100,000 of some item.
So Lee Jin has created one of the seminal blog posts of what has now become the creator economy. And in that, she talked about how, in the world today, one really only needs 1,000 true fans to be able to monetize and earn a living. So if you could sell $1,000 worth of goods to 100 people, you can make $100,000, which is enough to live. And, from our perspective, this gives huge new surface area for talent to monetize their fan base and for their fans to buy different things from their talent. Maybe somebody doesn't need a happy birthday message, but they just want to rock a t-shirt from their favorite band. And this is a great way to accommodate that.
And so one thing I'm wondering about is sort of what the interface is, right? So you might be buying a Jennifer Lopez thing from her website, but do you imagine now you would be the destination for purchasing the product as well as maybe signing up to get a Cameo? Sort of where do you see this e-commerce existing, and what becomes the sort of central piece of where people access their creators that they're obsessed with?
Sure. So first thing first, both our business and Represent are Q4 dominated. So they've got a great pipeline and they've got a great thing going. We've got a great pipeline. We've got a great thing going. For at least the first quarter, we're going to be operating as is. So we're not going to screw anything up that they're doing. But over the next 90 days, what we plan to do is to be really thoughtful about what future product integrations could look like. So you can imagine searching for Arnold Schwarzenegger on Cameo, not finding him for video shoutouts today, which means it's just a dead end for the consumer. But in the future, you could search him and his merch page could pop up. So we think that's a really powerful that's a really powerful new surface area for us. Additionally, we also think that bundling, so getting a core Cameo and also buying a t-shirt or buying a phone case or buying an autograph, these are all things that will be really exciting additions to our product suite as we go forward.
So Cameo is obviously at the center of the creator economy, something we talk about a ton on TechCheck, but we also talk a ton about social commerce. So to me, this right now and this announcement today is about the intersection of the creator economy and social commerce, bringing those things together. And I'm wondering, when you talk about social commerce, how much of the purchasing of these products that Represent is going to make for your 10,000 creators is going to be on your own platform versus somewhere like a Facebook or an Instagram?
Well, number one, I think Facebook and Instagram are always going to be really important rails upon which talent are able to sell, any variety of the things that they're using. And at Cameo, we deeply believe that the future of the creator economy is direct-to-fan monetization. And we're really excited to be the first platform to offer 360-degree monetization for creators. So whether it's digital goods like our core Cameo, Cameo Direct, or messaging platform, or stickers, whether it's our interactions products, Cameo Calls, Cameo Live, where you can actually FaceTime and have live interactions with talent, whether it's merch, which is coming through the Represent deal, or even creating commercials like we're doing through our Cameo for Business offerings. We think that we offer a hugely comprehensive and dynamic opportunity for all the talent to connect with their biggest fans.
Yeah, I'm glad you sort of did that roadmap of your business because I wanted to make sure we get a clear sense of where the business is now and also where you see the most growth potential. Because Cameo started out as just people signing up to get a call, a FaceTime from their favorite celebrity, but it really has expanded into these different businesses. So where do you see the most growth opportunity at this point, and what have you seen the most growth from the past, say, 6 months?
So funny enough, the very first thing we ever sold on Cameo was actually a pair of socks from a talent named Cassius Marsh of the Seattle Seahawks. So in some ways, this is getting back to our roots. But taking a step back, the larger idea for Cameo has always been for X amount of money, a fan should be able to pay to get Y from Z person. And for the past 5 years, for the first 5 years at Cameo, we've been hyper focused on delivering one why experience or why good, the personalized video shout out. And we've become exceptionally good at that. We've delivered over 3 million magical moments. Today, we feel like we're finally at the opportunity as a company. We have the leadership team in place. We have the tech infrastructure in place to start increasing the surface area upon which talent can come and monetize for us. And as you're thinking about future growth opportunities, we're really excited about a lot of the work that we're doing in our live products. So both our Cameo Calls and Cameo Live products are really, really exciting for us. In addition, our Cameo for Business unit is the fastest growing business unit at the company right now. And this is helping talent make bespoke commercials for SMB businesses across the world.
So it seems like what you're really grappling with now is how do you make sure that this is scalable? Scalable not only for every individual creator, let that creator have more touch points with their fans, even if maybe their time is not infinite, and then also scalable in terms of bringing more people onto the platform. With that in mind, I'm wondering what you're seeing in terms of overall engagement. We've talked a lot about how, as people get out and about, as COVID seems to be waning, people are spending less time at home. They may be less hungry for that moment of human interaction with their favorite famous celebrity. Do you see any trends in terms of engagement that maybe might reflect that people are just busier now and don't have as much time for this type of thing?
Oh, absolutely. People are busier now, both on the consumer side and on the talent side. And again, this is why we thought the merch offering was so important for us. Merch is great because unlike the core product where there's incremental effort for every incremental cameo that needs to be made, with merch, you can go sit with the designer now. You can go put one tweet out or one Instagram swipe up, and suddenly you're making passive income. So this is a great way for talent to basically, continue to stay relevant in a world. It's by selling their digital world in a world where people are increasingly looking for in real life experiences and not just sitting at home on their computer like they were doing for so much of COVID.
So speaking of in real life experiences, what is the potential there for you to expand? Now that you've done this deal here for merch, what's the next frontier? Is there a way for you to bring Cameo into IRL, as they say? Is there going to be some sort of convention or festival or something like that?
Well, the reason we started with the personalized video message, frankly, was because it was the easiest thing to operationalize, right? We were asking for 30 seconds to a minute of somebody's time. And, you could be in Mumbai and make a cameo for someone in Miami. And that was a huge part of the network effect. And the reason that Cameo has been able to grow so quickly is because we were not having to match localized supply with localized demand. As we develop new core competencies, like fulfillment is something that we've never had to do. We've never dealt with inventory. We've never dealt with physical products. We've never dealt with, having to ship things around the world. As we start developing core competencies there, it could open up the possibility for us to do things in real life. But for right now, we're more focused on working on our synchronous products. So you and I having a live FaceTime is the next step up and I'd say the foundational step to doing things in real life.
Interesting. And I have to go back to something you mentioned before about Facebook. I was asking about Facebook and Instagram and how valuable they are. I also hear a lot about how creators and brands are sick of paying what they call like the Facebook tax. This idea that in order to reach consumers, you have to pay Facebook to advertise, you have to pay to promote your profile, and that becomes the gatekeeper. How do you feel about that now? I mean, obviously what's so essential about Cameo is that it can enable people to break free from that. But do you still feel reliant on those platforms as a key way to actually find and connect with your fans?
Well, number one thing that Facebook and Instagram do that Cameo doesn't do today is they allow talent to aggregate fame, right? And aggregate a following. Now, as the Facebook algorithms have shifted, it is becoming harder and harder for talent to directly outreach to the people that their fans, their followers. So one of the things that Cameo is doing and many other platforms are doing is we're trying to create new ways to help talent aggregate their fan base and engage with them. And that's a lot of the work that we're doing in our Cameo fan clubs right now.
So it sounds like the next frontier for Cameo might be something that looks a little bit more like Instagram. What would you say?
One of the things we deeply believe in is that the future of social is not going to be an ad revenue model. It's going to be direct to fan monetization. And it's probably something that doesn't have a feed or doesn't have an algorithm. So what I would actually argue is that anything that we or anybody else will build, in this kind of Web3 world will not look at all like Instagram or Twitter. It'll look very different. And personally, we think that the future is really in direct messaging.
Direct messaging, so interesting. And the future will look nothing like the past, of course. And just to finish this conversation, going back to Represent, you mentioned the supply chain issues, how different it is to have to worry about shipping physical products than what you've done, which is the virtual sending of zeros and ones, which is a lot easier. And I'm wondering, as you think about that, how important it is for there to be a very quick pace in when it comes to producing products, like to be able to, if something has a meme, to be able to jump on that meme and make things move quickly. As you move into physical, how different does this merchandise have to look or feel in terms of being able to respond to what's going on in the culture?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is a core competency of Represent. And one of the things that's exciting is that this isn't just a t-shirt company. This is a tech-enabled platform. These are leaders that have been through Y Combinator. It's their technology that's really special. And as far as the fulfillment goes, we're continuing to partner with their old parent company, Custom Ink, who's a leader in on-demand printing. So those capabilities are actually not coming into the company per se. We're really the front end. We're helping the talent develop the campaigns, market them, sell them, design them. But as far as the back end fulfillment, we've got a great partner in Custom Ink that we look forward to deepening the relationship with. And as quickly as those memes are coming in or as new talent are coming on the platform, we've got one of the best in the world behind us to make sure that customers are being delighted by getting their goods on time.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a lot of things ahead, merchandise and all these new platforms that you're expanding, more ways for creators to connect with their fans. Steven, thank you so much for talking to us here on Tech